Devil's Triangle is often overlooked, but one of the most dangerous highways in North America. It's a 45-mile loop in East Tennessee that has plenty of dangers abound, from hairpin curves and twisty roads to steep drop-offs, countless switchbacks, and vertical cliffs. Wild animals frequent the area, and if you're not careful, they will hinder your ride. This just isn't any stretch of highway, it's the Devil's Triangle.
Sir. We're gonna have Robert Simmons. We got Rodden and Richmond. I'm gonna stop because I know.
The day started off at Knoxville at Bootlegger Harley Davidson, where there was a meet and greet held at Traveling Tall's Run to the Hills event. There were plenty of YouTubers there, and we all got a chance to speak to our fans. And it's so important to me because, as Tony mentioned, I am a teacher. We have a lot of kids who don't get an opportunity to get out and see. Y'all, so we going to head over to the prison. The prison run is going down. Going to prison is something that I don't wish on anyone. And most will say that they'll try anything at least one time. But not me, because I was uncomfortable like when someone stands next to you in the bathroom stall. Needless to say, I had to get my mind right and remember that no matter how new the destination may be, having good people around you makes the ride much easier. We blasted down the smooth roads, destined for the pen like a parolee that never checks in. We had a pretty decent sized crew rolling with us today, and most of us were in the area for the very first time. The hills and the mountains grew larger as we continued east, and the bikes were humming so vividly, and we passed through the nearby towns. We were locked in like a teenage sleepover with our tour guides leading us to our destination. We mobbed into the courtyard deep, with the exhaust of our bikes barking and grabbing the attention of everyone we passed. We would soon park and start our tour of the area. Brushy Mountain Penitentiary, home of some of the baddest individuals.
James Earl Ray, about a mile up that hollow right there. He thought he had gotten about 10 miles. He'd only got about a mile to a mile and a half. And he was there.
All that terrain.
And he was there 2 days, thinking he'd gotten about 10 miles out. And they finally found, the dogs found him, and he was piled up underneath a pile of leaves.
Man, I would have committed another crime so they could lock me up again. Like, I'm not even trying to get out. Just give me the whole time. 10 years, Your Honor? Perfect. Wow. I'm trying to get out of this.
But when that happened, when he escaped, they put, I grew up in a town that's probably about 15 miles by the way a crow flies that way. And they put our whole town on lockdown.
Right.
Brushy Mountain Institution is home to the State Penitentiary turned museum, and also the Brushy Mountain Distillery. We decided to check out the gift shop and look around for just a bit. There was moonshine in all flavors, and it's distilled right here on the property, and they even let you do tastings of all that they offer. But personally, I don't drink like the leader of an AA meeting. But luckily for us, they served food, and the line was longer than waiting at the DMV, but the prices were great and the food was amazing. Founded in 1896, Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary was home to some of the most infamous criminals the United States has ever seen. It was one of the first maximum security prisons of its time, and the concrete walls and mountainous terrain around it ensured that no one escaped. The prison was closed down in 2009 and reopened to the public in 2018 as a museum. And you can still view some of the memorabilia from the prisoners and guards, like uniforms and handcuffs and diaries, as well as the dorms and cells that they lived in. And as I looked at the rusted bars and the peeling paint of these buildings, I wondered who in their right minds would do anything to wind up here, because I was just going crazy just looking at it. Look at this, y'all. Look at that. Look how small this is. This is the hole. They said it was so dark that within days they would lose their eyesight. And just a mattress, a bucket of fresh water, and another bucket to do what you got to do in it. I went back upstairs to view more of the personal items that belonged to some of the former residents of this place, and was in awe at some of the things that had been preserved over the years. And once you sit back and take it all in, you'll get a small glimpse of what life was like on the farm. As we left Brushy Mountain, we would exit the premises and enter the start of what would be one of the most challenging rides of my life.
Why, hello there, and welcome.
Upon entering the triangle, I was greeted by a series of curves that hit back and forth like professional tennis players, and I knew that at this point, I was in for one hell of a ride. I said my prayers as I always do, but this time, I needed the man upstairs to put a little extra sauce on this one. Now I know he heard me screaming inside my helmet as I came inches from seeing what the bottom of a mountain looks like. I had to ask myself, was I really ready to dance with the devil? I put on my mental dancing shoes and laced them up tight. My road glide and I entered the dance floors of Tennessee Route 62, 116, and 330, and I was ready. Or was I? The devil danced in a zen-like state, causing me to be put in a trance as the white and yellow lines on the road began to blur. The switchbacks and the curves had me bending as if I was doing the limbo. We waltzed around each other as I passed the deep rock gullies, and the ragged rusty steel guard rails tried to box me in. The rock cliffs faced me and looked into my eyes like partners doing a bachata. It was so much going on and I knew I had to focus. I saw a couple of my shoelaces were untied, so I slowed down to retie them and regain my composure. And as I entered back onto the dance floor, I felt more confident, as I had seen much of what the Devil's Triangle was working with. And as soon as I cracked a smile, he pulled out a new move, sending ATVs and quads in my direction, and some nearly stepped on my feet, but I kept on dancing. I yelled out, "Is that all you got?" And I don't know why I mocked the triangle as he sent more of his minions at me. Wild animals summoned from thin air distracted my vision, but I took it in stride and I kept it moving. I had a few more moves up my sleeve, and I hit the running man and burned up portions of the dance floor. I started zigzagging through the rows and picking up steam. I moonwalked through Tennessee 330, and my audience of grass, leaves, and trees waved and clapped in admiration. I felt like nature itself was patting me on the back as the wind flowed and circled around me. I had all the momentum in the world and my team right there with me, but the claps would stop abruptly as the Devil's Triangle played a cruel trick on me.
I hope you caught it on tape.
Oh yeah, my 360 with the turkey also.
Yeah, that turkey was crazy.
That turkey was funny.
That was the only thing that flew out was the head?
Yeah, this and this.
Okay.
After assessing what I thought would be major damage to my bike, we continued on. I danced the Devil's Triangle and I survived. And as I head back to Knoxville and reflect on this ride, I have this thought. Some people are put into your life to help you get through things. They are your guides, because sometimes we are blind to things that are harmful to us. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And check out this playlist for more of my adventures. And this is your man, GQ, the leader of the Peace Army, telling you guys to be safe, be cool, and most importantly, be you, and peace out until we meet again.